we're safe. We're near the hotel, but there is nothing going on in Summerside. Everybody is hunkering down, and so they should. For the Weather Network, I'm meteorologist Jacqueline Woodall.
Amazing job they've been doing out there. That was Jacqueline Whittle from earlier on Sunday. Mark Robinson and Jacqueline will be live in PEI through your Monday. And Nathan Coleman will be joining us from Halifax, where the municipality of Halifax has asked residents to not go out on the roads for the next 24 to 36 hours due to the flash freeze. As you can see, this nor'easter is still bringing plenty of widespread warnings. Moncton still in a blizzard warning. Fredericton now in a blowing snow advisory due to the winds. And then we also have blizzard warnings throughout Newfoundland. Look at some of these peak wind gusts. This you may see higher, and that's because of this poisonous tail of the back bent occlusion. Yes, that is a mouthful, but it's basically a jet sting. So what we have are upper level winds making their way in a snake-like fashion down to the surface, and that translates to hurricane force gusts. Prince Edward Island, that could be your story, particularly through the pre-dawn hours. So wind warnings have been issued. The Wreck House wind warning, that has dropped, but it's still, even if you're not in a wind warning, going to be very gusty through your Monday. We have storm surge warnings as well through the south coast of Newfoundland, in through Summerside, Prince Edward Island. Ice shoves, a major concern to property and your own personal safety as well. Now, as meters, I encourage you, go to Twitter, hashtag ATL Storm. You have been posting some incredible photos. We've shared many at Weather Network. I mean, snow literally covering an entire door, because with these winds, the snow drifts have just been so impressive. Continuing through Monday, we'll see the lingering effects in the Maritimes, still packing quite a punch through Newfoundland. Into Tuesday, you get a bit of a break, but another system may be arriving for you for midweek. You can see this Gulf low is what we're watching. Now in Ontario, you see the frigid icon, and boy, do we mean it. We're talking temperatures through Monday morning feeling like minus 38. Needless to say, the family day activities quite possibly turn indoors. You can see this flood of Arctic high, very cold air. I mean, on the legend here, the purples start at minus 15, and those are going to be lingering through your week. So unfortunately, staying below seasonal. Through the prairies and out to the west, a pretty different story here. You can see where the warmer sector lies. This cold front here, this little clipper, is going to spawn a couple flurries, but it's not going to be highly impactful for you. I mean, all said and done, meters in swift current. It could make roads a little bit greasy, but travel shouldn't be too dangerous for you. Vancouver, 6 degrees for Monday morning. You are above seasonal all week long, getting into the double digits for your highs. Calgary starting things off minus 4 with that mix of sun and cloud. And Regina overnight minus 14, seeing those cold conditions. Media, hashtag ATL Storm. It's pretty unbelievable. Looking at our temperatures across the country, though, Sunday, Vancouver above seasonal at 10 degrees. Really look at this warm sector to the west. And then you can see where that ridge of Arctic air has sunk south. We're going to have frigid conditions through southern Ontario, perhaps even seeing the coldest air in 21 years. That makes frostbite a concern with some of these wind chills. I mean, frostbite can set in as little as 5 minutes, as much as 30 minutes. So you need to have all the layers. In northern Ontario, into Quebec, we have extreme cold warnings. Those warnings as well encompass pretty much all of southern Ontario. It's going to be a frigid start to your Monday, feeling like minus 32 in the city of Toronto. And look at that core temperature of minus 23. Has that potential of being record breaking. And this is what I mean from the difference from west to east. Sticking that way for a while. I mean, really mild along the south coast of BC. And then just this defined line of cold air not lifting anytime soon. Neither is winter's wrath with the nor'easter. Okay, so you saw some of that active weather around the globe and force of nature. Plenty to deal with here at home. This is a look at Newfoundland pre-dawn Monday. You can see all the snow mainly through western Newfoundland. We get through some mixing in central portions and then straight rain along into the Avalon Peninsula. The big concern, the big threat through overnight into pre-dawn is the wind. You can see wind warnings in place through the Gulf of St. Lawrence, in through Prince Edward Island, Wreck House winds that could get up to 180 kilometers per hour. What we're dealing with here with this front is actually a jet sting. So we have upper level winds coming down to the surface. And what we're dealing with is the potential of hurricane gusts through Prince Edward Island. Could see gusts of 160 kilometers per hour. And you can see even when the winds kind of start to diminish through Monday, Not so much. I mean, it's still going to be really gusty. We have all that snow on the ground, so blowing snow going to be concerned. And wait till you see some of the tweets on social media we'll be sharing with you. Unbelievable footage. So, of course, the nor'easter to deal with, but then we have frigid conditions in Ontario. We could have record-breaking cold, as they say. Then we have those cooler conditions in the prairies, as well as just a little clipper coming through. Could bring you a trace of snow. You can see what lingers on, though, as we head into Tuesday. All this mild air in the south coast. Plenty of sunshine. You're pretty much staying dry and could be the jealousy of the entire country. Looking into Tuesday, though, this hold of frigid air continues. And then what's this? Yes, a Gulf low that has the potential to move up that eastern seaboard and become yet another major weather story for Atlantic Canada. We're going to keep a close eye on that as well. On Wednesday in through Ontario, we have the potential of seeing some flurries falling, accumulating. Then you may like this as we head into Alberta, some milder conditions move back in. So Edmonton, you find it dips down on Tuesday, you'll rebound. Stays fair for you by your Thursday. And then, as I say, this is what we're really watching in Atlantic Canada, windy conditions, the potential of more snow. We're going to continue to break it down for you with your Storm Watch coverage. So keep it right here. Winter. And there you go. That video right there explains how dangerous this nor'easter can be. Thanks for joining me. I'm Krissy Vann. As you can see, we have storm surge warnings in place for a wide swath of the south coast of Newfoundland. And then in Summerside, Prince Edward Island, Charlottetown as well. Summerside is actually where we've had our storm hunters, Jacqueline Whittle and Mark Robinson, doing an incredible job. But dangerous situation. Ice shoves could come on shore and damage property. Safety needs to be kept greatly top of mind, especially with all of this. I mean, you can see still a wide swath of warnings in place. One interesting thing to note here, Fredericton was in the blizzard warning earlier. That has dropped. Moncton's still in it, but you can see Fredericton's now transitioned to the blowing snow advisory, and the winds are really going to start to become the greatest concern of this system. Times into Newfoundland, we have been seeing those impressive wind gusts. It's going to continue. Wind warnings in place. You can see along the Gulf of St. Lawrence, wreck house winds could get to 180 kilometers per hour. And what we're going to be dealing with as we head in through these pre-dawn hours is upper level surface winds snaking down. And it's basically like, it's called a sting jet. So think of the sting of a scorpion. That's how much of an impact these winds are going to have. We could be seeing hurricane force gusts continuing for some time. And that's not good when you have this on the ground. For many, that snow continuing to fall. The bulk has already fallen, so you can take a bit of solace in that. What we've seen through southern parts of Nova Scotia was a situation of periods of rain. Then the temperature cooled down. In Halifax, flash freezing actually left vehicles frozen in the ground. Really not sure if they'll be able to get those out. This system continues to have the impact overnight with those strong winds. Snow moves through western Newfoundland. Doesn't clear out till about Tuesday, but guess what? We're watching this Gulf low. That could become your story midweek. Now, across the country, we have frigid temperatures to talk about. Mild conditions through the south coast of BC. We'll cover those details with your Storm Watch. Well, things you need to know. Krissy Vann joining you. We're going to be talking about the avalanche threat that sadly turned deadly this weekend in the west. Frigid conditions in Ontario, and of course this, the nor'easter. I mean, normally I like to incorporate tweets from right across the country, but Atlantic Canada, you take the award for most fascinating photos today. This is in southeast New Brunswick. Can you imagine that being your front door? It actually makes me feel a little bit claustrophobic. I mean, winds have been so strong that, yeah, power outage is a concern, but how about when the entire street light has unhinged? This gentleman, Peter, says, I think it snowed today. Yeah. Check that out. Taller than he is. I know travel is basically going to be immobilized there. And I love this. Mr. Bailey Cat, very happy that he has his litter box because his other four-legged friend, well, he's going to have a little bit of a challenge navigating in the conditions throughout the Maritimes. Looking across the country, you can see Monday morning to the east, wind chills, dangerously cold through Ontario, portions of Quebec. And then a much different story for you in the west. Vancouver, you are sitting at 6 degrees, and with those warmer conditions, many have been having a little bit of fun in the snow. I love that. Refreshing, just a bit, eh? I think things are a lot more refreshing to the east. As you can see, our friends in Atlantic Canada. Yes, this probably looks a little bit dangerous, but I'm also finding it mighty impressive. To give you some facts here, we saw 13 centimeters of snow in 1 hour alone in Greenwood. So it's been very significant. We're going to be talking more of the nor'easter through this hour, but I really do want to mention at theweathernetwork.com, our writers work very hard to have interesting stories. But one important one to check out if you are in the west planning to hit the slopes, avalanche story, because in Kananaskis County through the weekend, unfortunately, there was a death. We are looking at extended avalanche warnings, and then warn you this. When you get on a plane, you never know what to expect. Check out the story about the scorpion sting on a plane ride. More stories at theweathernetwork.com. The winter season can be trying at times when it comes to shoveling and messy road conditions, but it also can create the opportunity to connect with nature and challenge yourself. And I know it was all hands on deck because conditions deteriorated so quickly. We had these wind gusts as well sat at 74. I myself got stuck along the QEW through Vineland in the overnight hours, and it was scary. I literally lost the vehicle in front of me, had the four ways going, reduced the speed, but it's never nice when your visibility is snapped up in a second. Temperatures, you might find that scary as well. Pearson, minus 19 on Sunday. Waterloo, minus 21. And as we head into your family day, well, we could be looking at the coldest temperatures in 21 years, the coldest for some in their lifetime. That means frostbite a concern with wind chills creeping toward minus 40. Frostbite can set in 5 to 10 minutes. We're going to be watching for records. I mean, through the weekend, we broke cold weather records, and it's going to be a good contender through Monday morning. Toronto feeling like minus 32 and Pembroke feeling like minus 38. So these extreme cold warnings extend through southern Ontario, right up through the north, even into Quebec. The afternoon, not a vast improvement, staying cold right in through southwestern Ontario. Owen Sound, you'll be feeling like minus 20. And the big question you're asking, well, will it end? It will rebound to not be so bad, but still below seasonal. And by Thursday, Friday, you're still feeling like minus 22. Now may be a good time to remind you spring just over 30 days away. So we're getting there. But Hamilton feeling like minus 26 as we head into Thursday. So coming up, we're going to be talking about the nor'easter that's been battering Atlantic Canada. Some impressive tweets that you are not going to want to miss. And you're also not going to want to miss this. The connection between shorts and snow. Well, it's snow angels, of course. Thanks for that, Kim. And as you can see, winter's firm grasp evident across the country, and you are reading those developing stories right. We're going to be talking the coldest temperatures in 21 years and just how long this firm cold blast of winter is going to be hanging out. Look at this beautiful scenery, though, in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. This was on Saturday. Thank you, Jake, for sending this in. Of course, you can upload your videos at theweathernetwork.com. Perhaps share your cold weather experiments. This has been the weekend to do them and into your family day, and that record dates back to 1954. So we're looking at the potential of breaking more records through your Monday morning. This is where the bar is set. January 4th, 1981, the temperature was at minus 31.3 with a wind chill of negative 44.7. Now, it's all fun and games to talk about breaking records, but I do want to mention with these extreme cold mornings, it's dangerously cold for those vulnerable to these conditions. I mean, are doing their part to try and open up as many beds as possible, but really watch out for your neighbor. Family day crafts indoors, probably going to be the case because as you can see through the afternoon, not much better. I mean, Owen Sound feeling like minus 20, North Bay feeling like minus 24. You can see this cold swath of air. That purple starts at minus 15, lingering as we continue for the start of our work week. So basically bundle up and avoid extended time outdoors.